Everyone was talking about that. If I saw a person on the phone, the person was talking about that. And everyone had a conspiracy theory of Putin throwing some bomb in Portugal or in Europe, or it's Donald Trump, or it's going to be the end of the world, and many conspiracy theories. But the blackout only lasted for about 6-8 hours. But still, that's the first thing I learned. People overreact a lot. I went to the supermarket to buy, I think I went to buy some protein. I went to buy some sardines since the electric stove stopped working because electricity went down, internet went down, everything went down, so I couldn't cook. So I went to buy some sardines, and everyone was in there. Everyone from the city was in Lindo, in the supermarket. It was crazy. You would see people with 2 whole carts all stuffed with stuff. I had maybe 10 items in my little cart. People had like 400 items in their cart. Everyone. You couldn't even pass through the aisles. 6 hours later, sure enough, it just came back. And I don't know what happened to those items in people's house, because they're not going to use it all in one day. Or even 1 month, to be honest. What I do know is everyone started yelling of happiness and joy and excitement because he all came back. So this is the first thing I learned during this occurrence. People overreact more than I thought. It was 1-2 hours in and people were already almost crying, so stressed out, saying it was the end of the world. And that brings me to my second lesson that I learned with this event. The main cause of this is because they couldn't access the internet. And everyone around me, I would say 95 to 99% of people are addicted to the cell phone. And that is, surprisingly enough, including myself. See, I thought I wasn't. I really thought I wasn't addicted to the cell phone until that happened. And then I noticed that I had a sort of different feeling that maybe I had nothing better to do, because I couldn't message anyone from my family. I couldn't message any one of my friends. I couldn't go on YouTube. I couldn't see my channel. I couldn't do even productive things that I do online. So not even that it's unproductive. It's productive habits that I have on the cell phone that I couldn't do. And that brings me to my third point. I went to buy a journal. A literal, physical journal. I bought a pen. I got in line, of course. Everything was black in the store. But I did get in line, and I did manage to buy it. And right afterwards, I got a literal Bible, because I only have it on the cell phone. And I made that my habit for yesterday. And in my mind, I was already picturing doing that habit for the next weeks, because everyone was saying that it was going to last for a long, long time. So what I was picturing writing everything on my journal and reading the Bible and reading physical books as my hobby, aside from exercising, aside from eating healthy, aside from everything else that I do. But anyways, in the end, the electricity came back, but I kept my journal. I kept it. I still have it. And today, I did write down my morning thoughts. And I am going to make a habit out of this. Writing down my morning thoughts, my ideas, my feelings, my plans, and my physical literal journal. Not because only the internet might fall at any point in history and then I have no cell phone to write things down. Because the energy is not going to be in. The electricity is not going to work, right? But also because I realize how healthy, how productive, beneficial, and fun it is to write it down and to go back and read what I wrote and know how I was feeling, what changed, if I still agree with it. And really, it becomes a piece of an asset in my life. And I can use that information that I wrote it down there to help people in real life, to share in this YouTube channel, and to reflect about what's going on in my own life. So that's it. I hope these 3 lessons I learned from this occurrence helps you somehow, makes you reflect. Maybe you go get a journal. Maybe you realize how addicted you are to the cell phone, not even the internet, but the cell phone. And you stop that bad habit. Because remember, people from old age didn't have cell phones. And they still managed to release dopamine, to be stimulated, to be productive, to make money, to do stuff. To live a whole life. But yeah. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And remember, you are what you think about. You reap what you sow. Pay the price today so you can pay any price in the future.